I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him by all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
Welcome back. Great to give you.
Caution, brother. Caution, brother. Over here!
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there. Quiet.
Look, brother. You see them? I do. The flowers. And our friends. What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Slow. Ogle, kill! This one. Go, Torgal! This one. Sickle. This one. Stay down. That was harder than I expected. But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
have our coin, our stock, and our store.
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
All yours, Torgal. Kill! It's over.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though. Just you head back to Northreach.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople. Stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dame was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sanbreque, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy, I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins, we can take refuge in the barracks.
We can help with the wounded.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Torgal, kill! Over here! Now, Torgal!
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
All yours, Torgal! Kill!
Nice try. That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire, that without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together, not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory.
As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my I should have listened.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief, and today there are more than ever before.
Madam Isabel, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself, and that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Can we get you anything?
There's no need to worry anymore.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Veil supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Veil.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
The hour fast approaches. My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must.
He must.
The time is nigh, Ifrit.
Cid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her. Bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Cid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times.
Thank you, Cid. There was a name in the Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. Like the thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very...
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit walls. We should head there as quickly as we can.
As do I.
Cid, I was...
It depends.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suit.
I don't mind.
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that. Which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee...
One can never have too many scouts.
True a word. I'll let the initiate know that you be and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach.
No time like the...
No time like the...
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer. Vivian, and I'd be happy to help you find the book.
Thank you, but...
Please. It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too... Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling. But perhaps...
If you say so.
But this...
What a word.
No.
Is that right? Might be time to take a step back. And if it weren't for Cid, I'll be here if you need me.
Through Orcish lands.
Help you today, Clive? You earned this. Best of luck out there, Cid.
Clive! Quick look. Seen enough?
If you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone. I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. Or what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
There's something about it.
Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read.
How is it that I haven't?
Why? See, they lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must...
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from...
By the hand of the...
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of... You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their lead.
My hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of... but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend, well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon... If you were...
Very well, I'll be sure to...
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. I have a few new notes that might interest you. There is a rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. Did you learn everything you need?
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I haven't seen any of those beastly blue eyes. Do be careful.
I will.
Yeah!
One who drove His Highness to madness! On your knees!
He has heard. He doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
For your...
Let's try. damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side. Right. Thanks, Gal.
yours, Torgal!
I'm getting tired of these things.
Well met, Cid. This is the Initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Cid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Cid. The Sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Fly, Ambrosia.
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword! Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Over here!
Nice try.
Over here! All yours, Torgal.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is, then.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember?
He must have fled. I followed him to... He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire.
But Sid...
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. Don't you leave my son.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision. Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic. I need to hurry. Stables go. There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. I keep my eyes open for signs of life.
All yours, Torgal!
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Get him!
Enough!
this one.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. They were feeding bearers to... Nothing but a Kashyyyk down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Over here!
we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here.
Chadwick.
Was that?
We have to get...
Doris.
All right. You...
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen. Finally.
Cid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in...
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Hyde Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Hyde Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
You should have seen him.
Welcome back, Cid.
Welcome back.
Yes. Truth be told, it was me who suggested, but from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. And any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conquering art. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine.
I'll do whatever you are. I'll spend my days and I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. About time the Cursebreakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing.
Forgive me, Cid. This did not play out as...
But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Remember that.
I will...
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right, then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's nowt lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose oar sits attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with travelling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
What do I owe the honour? What's Sancthornian, dear?
That it?
Guard dogs. Quite a specimen it is, too.
Kill! now, Torgal!
match for you, eh, Torgal? Let's go.
Faster!
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. Did you take this from the local barracks? This is it. But if what it says is true... I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care.
Your care?
That is not my decision to make, but by one means or another, it's
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
All yours, Torgal! Torgal, kill! This one.
Nice try.
Over here.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book. For now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Come on. No need to ride from here. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. It's locked. I should look around some more before I start breaking down doors. Conditioning. This is... disposed of. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. A forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was... But where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Torgal, kill!
Too slow.
Over here!
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Trouble with your gear, or... So, what'll it be? No scratches, all right? That it? Fine.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible.
I met with one of the... and I convinced... He told me something. The truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does, but it also means that the truth is not immutable. That, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people, as the sad history...
You said that the book inspired you to become...
It did. She was a heretic, you see. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world. She taught me that my solitude was not and that, though my...
Do you still feel that way?
Honestly? I'm not entirely sure anymore. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather... But the more I study, the more I... So if you'll permit me, remember, Clive, give the men and women of this benighted world the gift...
I'll try.
Whatever should I write next?
A love story, perhaps?
I hear that did you by any chance?
I did.
If I may, the bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost, my friends. I can still remember. Children who were taken from their bunk. No explanation.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid, I'm going to write a book. All of Valisthea, and in the name of the...
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all...
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. A silver...
Oh, or maybe not. Though there was a man stopped by the rest not long ago claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo. Near some gutted hovel not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and
We'll see.
because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicerine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sight. Good girl. Run like the wind. Time to fight. Tracks. Not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. The chocobo was here. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back together. Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
Ready, go?
This won't be easy. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? It looks like we found him. Ugh. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
It was no trouble.
Clive, how'd you get on?
Any luckies?
Crystals crack. They're in there.
It's a long...
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword, and that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with.
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. Lawsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know, but as you say, that was
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him, and I did nothing to ease that burden. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, and what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. but there is oft a seed of truth.
Well, it can't hurt to... Where can I find this flower?
You have seen cultivated Wyvern-tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The heart there is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost. Whether they still survive there, I know not.
It's all right.
Thank you, Clive.
I was just about to go in, but then I thought it might be better if you went first. What with you being the head of the family and all.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did, aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, me lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off?
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
No, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over, what with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. Me whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
You may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway, after I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know. Mid.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me, this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0 and a cogwheel. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Wait, the children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But what? I'll keep working on the model. You...
Has Midadol mentioned a new project?
Sid!
She wasn't hiding. She's just busy working on an...
A new invention? Is it an air...
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Oh, the one you forgot!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds.
Just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now.
Thanks, Sid.
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place... Well, you just wait and see. That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head? Or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it isn't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm going to bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do. Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Get him!
Nice try.
Get him!
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Come on. Yeah! Have care.
I can walk from here. Armin's madness lives on. Rest in peace.
Do you see that too?
Papa? What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop.
I'm scared.
I hope I didn't keep you. Did you arrange to speak?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did.
It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not neutral. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountain. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are they need help.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just...
I doubt even Theo... Come on. Run like the wind.
Company.
I can walk from here. Where's Theodore?
Upriver! He led the dragon. We just have to...
I can do that. Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. Kill! Farewell! This one! I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me.
The dragon's turned as well. We have to stop it here, or the village is doomed.
Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Cid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
care of my sister.
Vito, wait.
Goodbye, El.
Thank you, Clive.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone, because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses, and I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. A late bloomer. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo. I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own. To continue helping you however I can.
Thank you. Let's go on.
Eloise isn't the type to give up. Maybe not, but she'll still need us.
Well, this isn't at all foreboding.
Do you see that too?
What is it? Oh, please. Stop. I'm scared.
Come on. Faster! All right. It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him. Kill!
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My Lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. We will need an envoy, one who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps?
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either, and I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well.
I shall.
My Lord Mark, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. Someone like Quinton. I hope I can convince him at least. Quinton, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a ship